Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be very much straightforward because I promised you that I'm gonna do my face palettes next. I don't have that many products. You can see them kind of all organized here. I'm gonna show you every single one of them. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Eva, I love all things beauty. Today we're gonna be talking about all my face palettes. I have both drugstore and high-end. If you like this type of video, please give it a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you're interested to see all my face palettes, then continue watching. All right guys, so I have this organizer. I picked it up in my local TJ Maxx. Currently it fits all my face palettes. I'm gonna go ahead, take them all out and show you one by one what they are. These are my face palettes, all of them. I don't have that many. I think I have a good amount. They're all different. They're all good quality. I reach out to all of them. Today's video is not a declutter. I'm just gonna show you every single palette, talk about quality, maybe do some swatches. Let's go ahead and start with this Too Faced Natural Face Palette. First thing I want to say is that this packaging is my absolute favorite. It's gorgeous. It is heavy. When you open it, it has a full-size mirror. I've used this palette in my previous video. It has two different highlighters, two blushes, and two bronzers. This is one of the palettes where I use every single pan. I love the quality. This palette was recently on sale at Ulta and I could not recommend it enough. I shared it with you guys in my Instagram stories that you needed to go and snatch it. I used mine so many times and the product is still there. There's just so much left. This is gonna last me for a very long time. I think that the formulas are amazing. Highlighters are amazing. They're blinding. I love the blushes. This is more of a wearable mauve tone, and this is more of like that brighter pink, like baby doll look. It does have a little shimmer to it, so it's just a little like more glam. The bronzers are really, really nice. One is matte, one is a little bit more warmer and with a shimmer. I just I love this palette. I would repurchase it in a heartbeat. This next palette is by Mars. No, it's not by Mars, it's by Nars, and it's called Make Up Your Mind. This is a very classic Nars matte black packaging, and it's very nice and soft to touch, but it gets really, really dirty and you cannot clean it. And when you open it, it has a full-size mirror. I always keep this protective films. I don't know why. Let me know, guys, if you do the same. This is a face palette. It does have an eyeshadows, as you can see in the middle here, and then we have Laguna bronzer, and then we have three different blushes. The blushes that are included in this palette is Luster, Orgasm right here, and Dolce Vita is this one right here. It's more like a mauve tone with a shimmer. Not a huge fan of a Laguna bronzer. I know it was like a cult favorite in its own days years ago. I just feel like it always creates a hard pan. It's a little bit harder for me to blend it. I'm not a huge fan. It is not an awful bronzer, but it's not my favorite. I also don't mind the Glow Air blushes. I prefer the matte blushes, but these ones are very subtle with the glow. The eyeshadows are actually really nice. The formula on the matte eyeshadows is really nice. They're really blendable and decently pigmented. And then these two shades are actually toppers. These toppers definitely have to be used with an adhesive because they have a good amount of fallout. But overall, I like this palette. I reach for it. I keep it in my rotation. I'm not sure if it's still available. It's a decent palette that's very useful for every day. Let's go ahead and talk about this fun new addition that I have, and this is called a Never Without Face Palette by Pupa Milano. You guys know that I went to see my family in May, and of course I picked up some makeup when I was there in Russia. This is one of the brands that is not available in America, and very unfortunately, because I like a lot of their products. This is an Italian beauty brand. It is available in Europe, not in America. So I picked up a few things. So I actually used to have very similar palette back in the days. I'm talking about back in like 2015, 2016, and it was a fully contouring palette. So it was a contour, bronzer, like banana powder, and a highlighter, and I literally used every single pan like to death. When I tell you there was nothing left when I got rid of that palette, believe my words. And then I picked up this palette. It has a full-size mirror, and this is what it basically looks like inside. So, and it's interesting because this insert has like a little like cheat sheet almost. So it everything is numbered, like in the order that you would most probably apply this. So this is a cream concealer, then this is a setting powder, then we have a contouring bronzer, and then blush, and then number 5 is a face highlighter. I've used this palette many times since I bought it, but I haven't used it on camera. You guys, this is so beautiful, and the formula is so nice. It is pigmented, it just blends easily, and I think it's very affordable. I can't remember the price exactly right now, but I think it's like mid-range, somewhere around like 20 something dollars. It's not very powdery. It's just perfect consistency of everything. And this concealer is really nice too. I believe this comes in 3 shade variations to suit different skin tones. I love this. Let me know if you would like to see this on camera. If you would have an access to this brand anywhere, I would definitely recommend looking into it. All right, I have this palette. This is a Hyper Real Glow by MAC. This is actually a highlighting palette. It's the one that's in the golden range. This palette is just amazing. The quality is amazing. I do love using this in summer when I'm a little bit more tanned, or not necessarily in summer, just when I'm tanned in general, because it is kind of like a goldish, bronzy look to my cheeks. So if I'm really pale, it's definitely not looking very natural. It's such a nice, soft and creamy, just blendable formula. Amazing. I store this palette with my face palettes because it just doesn't fit into my regular drawer with my regular highlighters. So, but yeah, it's amazing. So these 2 palettes, these are by Physicians Formula. I've talked about them many times on my social media. I've talked about that here on my YouTube channel. I even have dedicated blogs on my blog on decembereve.com that you can check out with all the details. This is a butter collection and a collaboration with Weiler Huang. I hope I said her name right. I'm not personally familiar with the creator. This is a palette, and you might have seen it before, and it's not new. I think it launched last year in the spring in 2020, and I snatched it right away. I do love complexion products by Physicians Formula a lot. I like their blushes, I like their bronzers, and their highlighters. I've had success with that, with all those formulas. I love how thin this packaging is. Just look how thin this is. It's like just maybe like a size of my finger. It doesn't have a mirror, but who cares? This was literally $15 when it launched. When I received the palette, this shade was all broken. I repressed it, so that's why it looks a little bit mushy. The formulas are amazing. These highlighters are so soft and buttery. You really just need a teeny touch. It literally goes on skin like butter. If this palette is still available, girl, run. You've heard me talk about this palette so many times. You're probably sick of it. So this is All-Star palette by Physicians Formula. I'm not going to be talking too much here because you guys know how much I love this palette. I love the matte Manoi Butter Bronzer. This is kind of like the new one that they recently launched. Well, considerably recently. Then we have Muru Butter Bronzer. I can't say that name, Muru. And also really great. So this is a matte one. This is a slightly like one that has a sheen. And then this powder Mineral Glow Pearls. I think they already had this highlighter before. I use this a lot. It says it's a limited edition, but I swear to God, I've used their highlighter before and it kind of looks like it has this like bubbles. And initially there was a controversy about this specific highlighter, and when this palette was launched, that this highlighter had an overlay initially, and it was just that pearly, really highly concentrated, glowy product. And it was, but then when that initial overlay coat came off, this is just a pearly, beautiful highlight. I use it a lot. I feel like it looks really natural. However, it is nice and glowy, and I love it. This is more of like a golder one. It kind of reminds me of the MAC formula, to be honest with you, that from the Hyper Real Glow palette that I just told you about. And then you have a powder and then boosting blush. If I would have to rank all these palettes, probably would be between the Natural Face by Too Faced and this. I honestly don't know which one will be number one. If I would have to recommend one product for you today, this would be this. The next up is this palette by Milani. This is called All Inclusive Eye, Cheek, and Face Palette. I know it came in 2 different color ranges, so I got the lighter version, and I actually used it in my full face of Milani. So I will have that video linked for you down below in the description box. And I did a full demo and full review on this palette there. And we have a matte blush, we have a glowy blush, we have 3 shades of eyeshadows, which 2 of them are matte and bronzer, and then we have a highlighter. Beautiful palette. However, it's quite powdery. It's very pigmented, beautiful colors. The blushes are just gorgeous. The highlighter is gorgeous. The bronzer is nice, but however, I just feel like it was very pigmented and very powdery. For me, it was quite a learning curve to find the way how to properly use this product and which brushes to use so it would look nice and not patchy on skin, specifically the bronzer. I also slightly talked about diversity for this palette. I don't think it would really show up on a medium, like a deeper skin, because it's just very light. If I would have to rate this palette, I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5. It is a good quality, but there is definitely a learning curve to find the way, like your unique way, how to use it. Let's talk about this Smashbox palette. I don't believe this is available anymore. It's called Contour and Spotlight palette. It has contour, bronzer, and different highlighters. So it has this full-size mirror. Different highlights. We have pink, we have more bronzy ones, gold. This one is absolutely stunning. It has like a pinkish iridescent shift to it. I absolutely love this. But I really need to keep it a little bit closer to myself because I haven't reached for it in a while, but the quality of this is impeccable. I think this has been discontinued. It might have been even like a holiday edition, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's great. If you get to see it somewhere, maybe like Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx, snatch it. Okay guys, so we're down to the last 2 and you can recognize these beauties. So this is a Cheek Leader Bronze Squad from Benefit, and this is a Cheek Leader Pink Squad. So it does have a little mirror here, and then this is basically what we have inside. California, Dandelion, blushes. Then we have Dallas and Hoola bronzers here, and this is the Tickle highlight that was so super famous because it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. Can you guys see the shift? It's rosy gold shift. This is probably one of the most unique highlighters that I own. This is another palette that I use every single shade here, and I love the formulas. I feel like Benefit really nailed the formulas, and when I'm super pale, when I have my like winter skin tone, when I'm very at my palest, Dandelion is probably the blush that I reach for a lot because it's just that like very nice neutral baby pink that gives it a little bit like rosy cheeks, but it's not overpowering. Dallas bronzer is fantastic. It has a little sheen to it and just gives you that beautiful glow to your skin without it being like too glowy. It's just that healthy like shift of glowiness to your face. It's absolutely stunning. Hoola is Hoola. There's no need to talk about it. It's just a really good matte bronzer, perfect formula to my opinion. Let me show you this one, guys. So this is kind of cute because it does have this little pocket here, and it has a card that would basically tell you how to use the palette if you are a beginner. We have again 2 blushes. We have again Hoola bronzer, and we have a caramel Hoola, and then the cookie highlighter is just also amazing. It's like the beautiful pearly, oh my god, are you kidding? Oh, look at this. I mean, it's just gorgeous. They blend like a dream. You guys can see these 2 are next to each other. The reason why I actually decided to purchase them in palettes like this, because I genuinely hate the original packaging for their single products. Those like little boxes. I love these. I reach out to them a lot. I traveled with them many times. Leave me your recommendations. If you have any face palettes that you enjoy, that you love, that I may not know about, I would love to hear what your thoughts are and what you love using. If you like this video, give it a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next videos. Bye.